What's up, YouTube? So, do you think that biracial slash mixed people can be pro-black? And again, these are biracial and mixed people who identify as black but are first generational mixed, right? As in they have a black parent and a non-black parent, right? So in this video, I'm not including light-skinned black people. This is strictly dealing with biracial slash mixed black identified people. So do you think that, they can be pro-black? I feel like they can definitely assist in pro-black movements. I think that they can have a concern for black people, their black side of the family. I think that they you know, can participate and play their role, but I don't know if they can be pro-black to the extent that I think pro-blackness is needed, right? To the extent of being able to go fully against white people or the system of white supremacy. I mean, they have a direct link to white people, and I think this is more so in general, because not all mixed people are part white, part black. Some are like part black and part Asian, part black. um but I feel like it's sort of like the same thing but with other races too, but I'm going to stick with like black and white for this video. But I think it still applies to other mixes as well. Um, but since you were raised by, you know, well, it depends on who you were raised by, because some biracial people were raised by their black family. Others were raised by their white family. Some were raised by like a combination of both, the white or non-black family. And some were raised by a combination of both. And it's just something to think about. But me personally, again, I think they can have a concern for black people, but I'm not sure if they could really take on the true definition of being pro-black, since you would have to essentially go against what is not black. And what is not black is, part of your identity, part of the reason that you're here, especially if you're like white. You have a direct link to a direct link to essentially the oppressor. You know? And I meant to give this disclaimer at the beginning of the video, um, but this is not an attack on biracial or mixed people. I don't have anything against biracial or mixed people. I do personally include them in blackness. I don't automatically write them off as not being black. Um, and as well, and I know somebody gonna come through and be like, well, aren't you biracial? Aren't you mixed? And no, I'm not. All right, I'm not. My direct cultural lineage traces back to the African American experience on both sides of my family. You know, I don't have the influence of a non-black parent or a non-black family, right? And I think that's something that we sometimes forget to take into consideration, right? The cultural influence of the non-black parent on the biracial or mixed child. Me personally, I think that biracial folks and mixed folks can help. Um, I'm not sure if they should be the face of like a black liberation or a black power movement, because I feel like it sends a mixed message. Like, this mixed person is representing blackness. Yeah, it's a bit of a mixed message there to me. Hmm. We're talking about black power and black liberation, but the leader, is directly part white, or at least directly part non-black. It's just, it leaves, too big of an opportunity to be undermined, right? And black people have been undermined enough in this country and sabotaged enough in this country. You know. And as well, I'm not sure if biracial and mixed people can speak as forcefully and as honestly as I think that they should speak when it comes to black issues and, um, black concerns. And some people would just write off biracial and mixed people altogether. You know, I personally wouldn't. You know, but I can understand where some people are coming from, where it's like, nah, you might be too much of a risk. Because you may be working for the other side. You know. You know. But honestly, in all honesty, though, I'm not even sure if anyone can be pro-black these days. I'm not. In reality, I'm not even sure if anyone can be pro-black, because it just seemed like no one wants to step up to the plate and really be down for black empowerment and black liberation. It probably is going to be a biracial person to do it. That's the sad part. It probably is going to be a biracial person who has to step up to the plate and do it. And also, it seems like maybe some people may fear like biracial may become the new black. Biracial is the new black, and feel like it could low key end up being a system where it's like biracial people are on top of black people. And to an extent, in some regards, it's kind of like what's happening now in a way. And black people would not want to participate in marginalizing themselves, like removing one system that marginalizes and oppresses them for a system that essentially may end up doing the same thing to them. You know. Low key, I kind of feel like maybe biracial and mixed folks probably should be more so on the multicultural tip. Pushing multiculturalism more so. And honestly, I feel like that's what swirlers need to do. People who interracially date need to do. Particularly black folks, right, who want to interracially date but be on that pro-black tip. I kind of feel like they need to be on that multicultural tip too, just pushing multiculturalism. But when it comes to them, I feel like it ain't no money in it. Or they can't get as much money as they can get out of being the pro-black person, right? There's not as many accolades that you can get, or awards, right? Or recognition, and then it gets to the point where it's like, okay, what are you really in it for? Are you in it for black folks? Are in it for the awards, accolades, and money? So I'm going to bring this video to a close. I don't want to go on for too long. I think it's a pretty simple question. Do you think that biracial and mixed folks, first generational, can be pro-black? Right? Honestly, do you think anybody can be pro-black at this point, really? I mean, is anybody willing to step up to the plate and be pro-black, right? And also, what are the criteria? What's the criteria for being pro-black? And that's the thing too. It's really subjective to the point where it's like, I don't know. It's like we all, to an extent, have our own definition. So, yeah. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Until the next video, adios and goodbye for now.